Welcome to the deep dive. We're going to be focusing on simple English perfect for beginners.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be looking at how to talk about favorite colors.
That sounds fun.
Our source material is called Talking About Favorite Colors, and it features two characters, Alex and Ella.
All right.
Are you ready to jump in?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's imagine we're just meeting Alex and Ella, and they're starting to have a chat.
Okay.
I'll be Alex.
I'll be Ella.
Hi, Ella.
Hi, Alex.
I like blue.
Blue is nice. I like red. It is bright and strong.
Red is good. Do you like green?
Green is okay, but not my favorite. My brother likes green a lot.
That's cool. Everyone has different tastes.
That was a good conversation.
It was pretty easy.
Yeah, you're very simple.
But I think even in that short exchange, there's a lot we can learn.
For sure.
Let's start by looking at some of the key vocabulary.
Okay.
So we've got words like cool, bright, and taste.
Yeah, those are good ones.
And they seem simple enough, but they can have some different meanings, right? Like the word cool can mean something is stylish or impressive.
Right.
Like that's a cool jacket.
Yes, or that's a cool car.
But it can also mean that something literally feels cool,
Uh-huh.
like a cold drink.
Exactly.
So the meaning of the word changes depending on the situation.
Yeah, it does. Context is everything.
So how about bright?
So usually that refers to something that gives off a lot of light.
Like the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a bright light bulb.
And then there's the word taste.
Yeah.
But here it's not about like the taste of food.
No.
It's about a preference.
Exactly.
Like you could say, my taste in music is different from yours.
Exactly. It just means you like different types of music.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I think we've covered the key vocabulary.
Yeah, those are some important ones.
But there's also a couple of phrases that I think are super useful.
Okay, let's take a look at those.
Like the phrase, I like blue.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's like a really essential way to express what you enjoy.
Yeah, it's simple, but so important.
And it's really versatile because you can replace the word blue with anything you like.
That's right.
Like, I like pizza.
I like learning English.
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
And then I also noticed that Alex said blue is nice.
Yeah.
Before he said his own favorite color.
Right.
So it was almost like he was acknowledging Ella's preference before expressing his own.
It's a polite way to keep the conversation going.
Right. And then did you notice how Alex used the word okay?
Tell me more.
He said, green is okay, but not my favorite.
Right.
It's a gentle way of saying he's not really a huge fan of the color.
Yeah, it's a polite way to disagree.
Without being too negative.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
that's really important when you're speaking English.
Yeah, politeness is key.
Okay, now let's talk about that last line that Alex said.
Okay.
Everyone has different tastes.
Yeah,
That's such a simple statement.
it is, but it's so true.
It really is.
And it's a good reminder that it's okay to like different things.
Yeah.
You don't have to like the same things as everyone else.
I think it's a really valuable phrase to remember when you're navigating conversations where you might not share the same view as the other person.
Yeah, it can help to avoid conflict.
Exactly.
It's all about being respectful.
And I think that's really important when you're learning a new language.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't want to offend anyone.
No, you don't want to come across as rude.
You want to be polite and respectful.
And understanding.
Yeah, so I think this phrase is a great tool to have in your back pocket.
I agree.
And you know what?
Really?
This phrase can be used in all sorts of situations.
It can.
Not just talking about colors.
Tell me more.
You could use it when you're talking about food movies, hobbies.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just a great way to acknowledge that people have different preferences.
Exactly. And that's okay.
I'm starting to see how much we can learn from just one simple dialogue.
Me too.
It's like a mini lesson in English conversation.
It is, and it's just the beginning.
There's so much more to explore.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
Let's dive in. It's amazing how much we can learn about conversation from a simple dialogue like this.
Yeah, it's like there's all these hidden rules
There are.
that we don't even think about.
Yeah.
Like, remember how Ellis starts the conversation?
Uh-huh.
She says, I like blue. It's a cool color.
Mm-hmm.
But then before she says her own favorite color, she says blue is nice.
Right.
It's almost like she's passing the ball back to Alex.
Yeah.
You know, like acknowledging his preference before she reveals her own.
Exactly. It's a really nice way to keep the conversation balanced.
And then I also noticed how Alex responded when Ella asked if he liked green.
Yeah.
He could have just said no.
Ah.
But instead he said, green is okay, but not my favorite.
Right. It's a softer way to disagree.
Yeah, it's like he's being honest about his preference, but he's doing it in a way that's really polite.
Exactly. It's all about being considerate of the other person's feelings.
It's making me realize how much thought goes into even the simplest conversations.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like we do all these things without even realizing it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So basically, if I'm talking to someone in English and they mention something they like, it's a good idea to acknowledge their preference before sharing my own.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Well,
And, you don't have to say a lot, just a simple, that's cool, or that sounds interesting.
that can make a big difference.
It shows that you're listening and that you're engaged in the conversation.
I'm definitely going to try that.
I think you should.
Now, let's talk about some other ways we
Yeah.
can express our preferences in English.
Okay.
We've already heard Ella say, I like blue,
Uh-huh.
but there are so many other ways to say the same thing.
There are.
Like what?
Well, you could say, my favorite color's blue.
That's more direct.
It is. Or you could say, I'm really into blue lately.
That sounds more casual.
It does. Or you could say, I find blue to be a very calming color.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And don't forget about how Alex describes red.
Yeah, he said it is bright and strong.
Exactly. He's using adjectives to give us more information.
So instead of just saying, I like red,
Yeah.
I could say, I love how vibrant and energetic red is.
Yeah. Exactly. You're getting it.
This is fun.
It is.
Now, how about that phrase, everyone has different tastes?
Yeah, it's a good one.
We talked about how it's a great way to acknowledge differences.
Uh-huh.
But I'm wondering, are there any other ways to express that same idea?
Yeah, there are a couple of idioms that come to mind.
Oh, really?
Like you could say to each their own,
Okay.
or different strokes for different folks.
Those are good?
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all about finding the expressions that feel right for you.
Exactly.
It feels like we could talk about this dialogue forever.
I know, right?
There's so much to unpack.
Yeah, and we might feel like we've squeezed every last drop of insight out of it.
Yeah.
But believe it or not,
Uh-huh.
there's still more to glean.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Let's step back for a second
Okay.
and think about why mastering a simple dialogue like this is so valuable, especially for English learners.
Right.
Because it might seem basic at first glance,
Yeah.
but it's actually really significant.
Mm.
Okay, so think of it this way.
Yeah.
Learning these simple conversational building blocks.
Okay.
It's like learning the alphabet before you can write a story.
Right.
You need to master those fundamental elements
Okay.
to create something more complex.
I see what you mean.
So by understanding these phrases
Yeah.
and how they're used in different situations,
Uh-huh.
you're basically training your brain to recognize the patterns in English.
So it's like laying the foundation
Exactly.
for a house.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So as you encounter more English dialogues and conversations,
Yeah.
Your brain will start to pick up on those patterns
Right.
and make those connections.
Oh, I like that.
And before you know it,
Uh-huh.
you'll be understanding and speaking English more naturally.
That's so cool.
It is, isn't it?
It's like magic.
It is a little bit like magic.
And I think another huge benefit of mastering these dialogues
Yeah.
is that it really gives you a boost of confidence.
It does?
Like being able to hold even a basic conversation
Yeah.
in English
Uh-huh.
is like a huge confidence booster.
It can be so empowering.
It really can.
It just opens up a whole world of possibilities
Yeah.
for connecting with people.
It really does.
Whether you're traveling,
Uh-huh.
making new friends.
Or just ordering food at a restaurant.
Yeah,
It's like you said, it's empowering.
it is, and it's so motivating.
Right?
Because once you have that feeling of, I can do this,
Yeah.
you want to learn more.
Right. It's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
The more I learn, the more confident I feel, and then the more I want to learn.
So never underestimate the power of those seemingly simple conversations.
I won't.
Okay, good.
They're packed with so much valuable information.
They are.
And they can really set you on the path to fluency.
All right, so before we wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for our challenge.
I love a good challenge.
Do you?
I do.
Okay, so remember that thought-provoking question I mentioned?
Yes.
Here it is.
Okay.
What are some other ways you can ask about someone's favorite things?
Oh, okay. Beyond just saying, what's your favorite?
Okay, so instead of saying, what's your favorite color,
Uh-huh.
I could say, what color do you find yourself drawn to?
That's a good one.
Or I could say, if you could only wear one color for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
That's a great question.
It's fun, right?
It is.
And I like that these questions can apply to other topics as well.
Yeah, you could use them for anything.
Right, like what book has had the biggest impact on your life?
That's a deep one.
It is, right? Or if you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be?
That's a fun one.
It is.
The possibilities are endless.
This has been such a fun deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
And I'm sure our listeners have too.
And remember, if you want more deep dives and language learning tips,
Yes.
be sure to subscribe to our channel.
And give us a light.
We're always here to support you on your English learning journey.
Until next time, happy learning.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.